Hey friends, it's Jill here with the Hometown Homestead, and today we are gonna cut my hair. And I'm doing this a little bit in reverse. I actually just completed it, but I forgot to tell you something super important. So I am doing a little edit and I'll add it in at the end, but make sure you hang on for the Homestead garden tip to do with what you have left over at the end of your haircut. We're actually in my master bathroom and I'm getting ready to do something that's been on my mind for quite a few weeks. We're getting ready to cut my hair. And I wanna show you exactly how easy it is to cut your own hair at home. I actually did start cutting my own hair at home when I was around 12 or 13 years old. Yeah, you show them what you got, Channy? When I was around 12 or 13 years old and did it for a really long time before I actually went through a cosmetology apprenticeship and cosmetology school to get my own license, where I spent over a decade behind the chair. So this isn't something that's foreign to me, and I want to show you exactly how I am going to trim my hair and where it needs to be trimmed in order to make it healthy. And it's something that'll be easy for you to do at home. I actually find that the more time we spend thinking about ways to be sustainable at home, the more I look at every single thing in my life and think, well, I can do that. So what's the deal, right? I can cut my own hair. There's no reason that I need to go spend time and money to get it done. So today we're going to tackle that, and I hope this is something that you'll enjoy. So if you've ever been curious about the quickest way to take care of dry split ends like mine, hang out because it's going to get fun. The first thing to do is to go ahead and get my hair washed. So with the help of my beautiful assistant, that's going to be our next step. Okay, so my hair is wet. My assistant was able to stay dry. Did you stay dry? Yeah, pretty dry. Oh, she's showing me her wet hands. So my hair is all crazy now, and that brings us to our next steps. Now, I had this smock left from my hair days to go ahead and use to put over my clothes to keep myself clean, to use instead of a cape, which comes in really handy when you're doing your own because it has sleeves. But this definitely is not necessary. It just keeps the hair off of you. So you can easily just change your shirt when you get done and you're good to go. The next thing I'm doing is putting an oil on my ends just to help keep them really hydrated. You wanna hold that, babe? Just to help keep them really hydrated and help my combs slide easier through my hair as I go throughout this process. Now, there's only a couple things that you really need to do this well, and that's some really sharp scissors. I like to dedicate a pair just to hair, and I have some left from my days behind the chair. But if you don't have any, just grab some on Amazon or even any that you can get locally. Just make sure that they're sharp and keep them to the side specifically for hair. The other thing you need is a good comb. Now, I use this big one for my guys when I'm doing the men, because I can use my clipper right over the top of it because it's the perfect size. But when I'm cutting, I actually need a comb similar to this. It has fine teeth on one end and then the larger teeth on the other. But to do a little bit of the work for me, I'm gonna pull out my big paddle brush. You want it, Channy? Let mommy use it first. Now, when you're brushing your hair when it's wet, be extra gentle because this is when your hair is at its most fragile state. If it sounds like you're ripping through your hair, you really are. You're breaking it all, and that's leading to the split ends and the fuzziness that you probably don't like. So very gently, if you're gonna use a brush when your hair is wet, just go really gently. You can also just use a big wide tooth comb or even a pick, whatever style works best for you. What do you think, Jan? You want to hold the brush? You brushing? Good job. Use the wide tooth here to make your own part as you're gliding through your hair. So I'm just going to go right around the edge here and use that to separate out and then comb down. Now, the question is, if you're growing your hair, how much do you want to take off? Nobody ever comes in and wants to take off any bulk of length when they're actually not interested in shortening their hair. But do you see this? How you can see through all of the light that's coming through? When you see that, that's where the dry and damaged hair is. So if I want to bring my hair back up to a healthy limit, I'm gonna come right in through here. Now, of course, I'm not gonna cut straight because this is hair on an angle, but I want you to just take a look at how all of that light is diffusing through that hair. That's stuff that needs to go. It's dry and damaged, and your hair is gonna be much better off when that is gone. What are you doing? Are you pulling down my zipper? Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Mommy needs to cut my hair. Oh, okay. So to get started, I'm gonna split my hair right down the middle and comb it to both sides so I can work on the perimeter and get the bottom done before moving on to the layers. The layers are actually the super easy part that don't really take much time at all. But getting the bottom right is the thing that you're gonna need the most help with, or the most work on trying to get done right. If you have somebody at your house, which I don't today, I normally do, but if I had somebody at the house, I could just ask them to check my back and make sure it looks straight and go from there, but I don't. Oh, Chinny, you're stepping on it. So, I have my shears and my comb, and what I'm gonna do is just see if I can get my sister girl here out of the way. Turn my head sideways and comb it to where I can get my fingers pretty straight as a guide on where the back of my hair actually is. And then I'm just gonna cut very gently on an angle. And the reason that I'm cutting that on an angle is because I don't want a big solid straight line with my hair. I like the edges to be a little bit softer because my hair is super thick and it shows every tiny little imperfection if the goal is an absolute straight perfect line. So since it's not, we're gonna point cut those ends. We're gonna point cut those ends to give a much softer look. Then bringing the next section forward, you can see right where to go because you already have your guide started. Did you just get rid of that, Tanny? Am I gonna be wet now? Am I gonna get hair all over me? Take those sections and continue working around the bottom until you have it all the way done. And now I'm gonna switch over to the other side. Now before moving on to the other side, I'm gonna recomb and pull a tiny piece that I already cut on the other side around and let that be my guide for where this line needs to come across on the other side. And I can see that I have it right up here by my finger, and I'm just gonna go ahead and chop that right off. Are you getting all hairy down there, Channy? Yucky. Yeah, you're yucky? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're yucky. She's getting a total hair bath down here in front of me. All right, now I'm gonna take these two pieces, right coming off my ear section, and pull them to make sure that they are even. This is checking that my perimeter was pretty dang good all the way around. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna look so close that nobody's gonna know, because taking that guide piece from this side and pulling it over to help you continue the perimeter on the other is exactly what you need to do in order to continue the line that you've already started. Now, I like my hair angled forward around my face, so I'm gonna take a part from the top of my crown down to my ear. And this is the section that is gonna form the angle around my face and give it a little bit softer of an edge. You can see all of that here. That stuff's gonna go. That is dry and damaged. It gets the most touch from your hands, and it's the piece that actually needs the most attention if you want your ends to feel nice and fresh all over again. So now we're gonna go to the other side. Using that tooth of your comb to separate and combing the other side back, as long as your hair is wet, will keep that part and you won't have to worry about it sliding forward. Same thing here. You can see, like, it's just so, of course, it's been probably 9 months since I've had a haircut, so it's definitely due, but it's easy to see what actually needs to be taken care of. Now at this point, you can comb straight down and match the pieces from both sides, pulling in what's left right there to finish off. So now we have the perimeter done, and it's time to move on to the layers. The first way to do this is to go just like they would do in a hair salon, and you're gonna part off section by section. You wanna start at the back of your head and work your way all the way around if you're gonna do it like this. And this is how I do my kiddos, but it's not how I'm gonna do myself. So I'm not actually starting in the right spot to show you because you wouldn't be able to hear me or see what I'm doing. I got a nice tingle there. This is why we're trimming it. I also lost a ton of hair during COVID and had a new baby at the exact same time. So my hair loss was so insane that this stuff at the ends really needs to go. And you can see a lot, like this is all new growth and I have it around my whole head. So my crown is so thick because I have all of these little pieces coming in. And probably if I cut it all off, those natural curls would be what you would see, but we're not gonna do that. Okay, so if you were wanting to go all the way around your entire head, I can't get rid of that one. You would take your comb it all the way up. Let me see if I can get there. Okay, so you take your comb. You take your comb and comb it all the way up and get the angle right and just cut off every single piece just like that all the way around your whole head, and your layers are complete. If you want it longer toward the bottom and shorter toward the top, if you want really surface layers, then you exaggerate the angle. So you take it like this and you pull it all the way over and arch your hands, and then you're just taking off that corner right there. So now it's layer time, and I am gonna show you a trick that's gonna save you a lot of time and give you pretty dang perfect layers in the end. So grab your brush or a nice comb and a ponytail holder, and let's get started. The first step is to flip your head over and make that ponytail. Yeah, Jenny. Now, I took my hair and I pulled it all the way over, and I have a ponytail that I just slid down, giving me a little bit of looseness right here in front. The reason I did that is because I want my layers pretty surface, and these pieces right here at the back of my hair to fall out of the ponytail on their own and not be impacted by the layering that I'm about to do. So I'm gonna slide this down just a little bit more and then just go in and start cutting. Now again, I'm not going straight up and down with my scissors because I don't want a really, really straight line. I want something a little more gentle. Yeah, you want your pony, Channy? Just a minute. I want something a little more soft on the texture of my hair. Now, with the texture of my hair, one of my favorite things is to use a razor and gently take off the ends. If you have a straight razor for any purpose at home, you could do that using a guard on it to make it a little bit more gentle. That's basically what that is. But I'm just gently shaving off those ends. Now that's it. We're gonna let it go, shake it out, and I have layers that are all trimmed off, even, and ready to go. So that's it. Now I have layers, a fresh haircut, and it took me 17 straight minutes from when I started cutting, and a lot of that was due to the time that I spent moving around the camera and trying to get a good angle for you. You can do this at home in about 5 minutes and give yourself a fresh new haircut ready for the new season. If you have any questions on cutting your hair in a similar style, or if you're interested in different styles, let me know, because I do spend about one night a month cutting the hair of everybody here at the house. So we do a lot of different things every single time, and it gets quite interesting. So if homestead haircutting is something that is as interesting for you as it is for me, let me know, and I'd be happy to get out some more content like this. So now that the cut is done, it's time to get it styled out. Let me get on that, and I'll show you exactly how this turned out. So now that it's dry, my ends feel great. I don't have that dry, nasty stuff on them anymore. And it looks really, really smooth in comparison to where it was just a few minutes ago. So I encourage you to take this one into your own hands too, if it's something you've been thinking about. It really doesn't take much time, and it's easier than you think. And if you mess it up, you can always have somebody around the house straighten it up for you and back. Hey guys, wanted to jump in really quickly now that I've finished and just let you know that that hair that you just cut off is gold for your garden. Keep it around because it's a great natural way to deter pests from coming into your garden and stealing your vegetables. So sprinkle that loose hair around and call your local salons and ask them to hold back their extra hair. We used to do it all the time when I worked in a salon, and it really helped people to keep those extra pests out of their garden. So happy hair cutting and also happy gardening this spring. Thanks for stopping by, friends. And if tips like this are interesting to you, make sure to subscribe because more is just around the corner. Bye, friends.